if you're prosecuting somebody for having a dog that's dangerously out of control, it's too late. The dog has already injured somebody or attacked somebody else's pet or killed somebody in these horrible circumstances that we've seen. And the issue here is not the offence, it's the capability of the animal.
Now, Rishi Sunak says American XL bully dogs will be banned in the UK by the end of the year. The Prime Minister made the announcement earlier today after 52-year-old Ian Price was mauled to death by two dogs in Staffordshire. This follows a series of similar attacks across the country. Earlier, I heard from XL bully owner Sophie Coulthard, who thinks the ban is a knee-jerk reaction.
I think people who have been listening to the media that has created almost a moral panic from this situation will agree with the Prime Minister. However, the problem goes a lot deeper than a single breed. And I think that there are plenty of experts, professional dog trainers out there who are all pushing the message that a breed-specific ban is not the answer, and that we need to be looking at better legislation for the future and not just for today.
Well, that's XL bully owner Sophie Coulthard speaking to me earlier on the programme. We're going to be speaking in a moment to Stan Rawlinson, who's a dog behaviourist with 40 years' experience and was also an expert witness for the 1991 Dangerous Dogs Act. We're also going to be hearing from Lord Baker, former Home Secretary, who was the one who steered through that Dangerous Dogs Act. But first, Kit Malthouse MP, former policing minister, who's been calling for a ban since 2009, is on the line.
Well, my concern back in 2009 was with the pit bull, which we were seeing exploding in numbers across London. I was deputy mayor for policing in London at the time, and these animals were causing fear across the whole of the capital. And what we wanted actually then was an increase in sentencing, which we got. But critical, I think, to the success of the Dangerous Dogs Act was enforcement. And back in those days, we persuaded the Met to set up a status dogs unit, which took well over 1,000 pit bulls off the street in its first year, and did very good work in the years that followed, to the extent that the problem, I guess, subsided a bit, although it didn't go away completely.
Yeah, so did it work then, a ban? That's the question.
Well, I think a ban can work if there is enforcement. People often blame the legislation, but in truth, I'm not sure this issue has been given the priority necessarily from a policing point that it needs to. In those days, the Met had a status dogs unit. I think Liverpool had a dangerous dogs unit, but nobody else did.
Right.
It's a systemic attempt to try and, deal with these dogs, particularly where they were being used to threaten and intimidate people, and where they were being reported as effectively weapons. What's changed now, and why I think we're having this sort of upsurge, is that this is a new kind of super weapons grade animal that's appeared in our streets in the last 2 or 3 years. And I hear what your guest Sophie said earlier about owner, not breed. But hold on, it can be owner and breed. These dogs are bred to be big, powerful fighting weapon machines.
Yeah, but
we've seen them kill people. There aren't. Labradors don't kill people.
Well, okay, but tackle the owner point, because the existing law, as it is, allows any dog to be dangerously out of control. That's a criminal offence if anyone allows a dog to be out of control. So therefore, This could be applied now. Why do you need to tag it to a particular breed?
Well, it is applied now. But of course, if you're prosecuting somebody for having a dog that's dangerously out of control, it's too late. The dog has already injured somebody or attacked somebody else's pet or killed somebody in these horrible circumstances that we've seen. And the issue here is not the offence, it's the capability of the animal.
Right.
We don't allow people to walk around with tigers on leads, even though, a tiger is trainable, as we know, right? They used to appear in circuses and all the rest of it. Thankfully, not anymore.
I'm sure Sophie, if she was on the line, would say that her American bully is not nearly as dangerous as a tiger. Anything,
well, no, but they are more dangerous than a Pomeranian.
Right.
They are more dangerous than a spaniel. They are. That's what they're bred for. A pointer is bred to point, a retriever is bred to retrieve, a collie is bred to herd sheep, and a American
is bred to bully.
Terrier is bred to fight. Right?
Okay, so briefly, one final point on this. If you define this breed, and I know there's problems talking about defining the breed, although it does already say in the Act, it talks about a type rather than a breed. But if you define it, doesn't another crossbreed pop up that's just as dangerous? You've then got to amend the law again.
Well, possibly. Let's hope not. But
Right.
I do think we do need a further addition to the Act, and already discussed this with government, which is that I would like to see what I'm calling a muzzle and neuter order, which can either be applied to a type of dog, bulldogs or bull type dogs, or to specific dogs where they must be muzzled at all times in public. They have to be neutered, so they can't be bred from. And I think if we can have that as well as outlawing this dog, and I would outlaw other breeds, the Kangal, which we know is very aggressive, very large dog that seems to be maybe the next in fashion. I think you can do both. You can have obligations on the owners.
And do you think the government will? Are they listening to you?
You can ban the most aggressive and unpleasant breeds. You can encourage people to buy Labradoodles and Spaniels and those nice dogs that do occasionally bite, but are nowhere near as capable as those. And we can have this muzzle and neuter order so that a particular type of dog that's known to be more dangerous and more likely to bite and more capable, frankly, of causing damage, that they have to be muzzled in public.
And do you think the government will listen to you on that muzzle and neuter rule?
Well, I certainly hope so. I mean, I don't know yet. It's early days, but
you're lobbying hard.
Well, yeah, and I think if you own a dog as we do, or you have children or whatever, or you're out and about, you see these things. The vast majority of the public are terrified of these animals. People cross the road to avoid them. Yeah, right, and they are used for that purpose. They're used to intimidate and as a status symbol. I don't understand why anybody will want one of them, but we have to deal with that sort of phenomenon, and having this three-step approach, I think, will get us there.